Hey, Sarah, I was watching you on a special about Saturday Night Live.
Oh, I know. I couldn't believe I was on that.
Which was weird. It's funny because sometimes I forget that you were on Saturday Night Live, and it got me thinking about your career and stuff, because I know you as this accomplished comedian. I've seen you on stage. You command the stage. I think you have one of the funniest stand-ups I've ever seen, and I'm not just saying that because you're here. I've said it when you're not.
Hi.
You really do. You do, honey. And you're so good, and you're on target. You don't have to say hi to Benji.
Sorry, I thought it was Fred.
Oh, okay. She said,
Benji,
right.
could you pass that over to Fred? Thanks.
When you were on Saturday Night Live, though, you didn't get to do anything. And I wonder, does that haunt you still to this day?
No, because it's funny. I never got a sketch that I wrote myself on the air. And you always hear that about Larry David. I was like, I never got any on the air either. And then I saved them all.
Did you submit sketches?
Yeah, I was a writer.
And they didn't think it was funny?
Yeah, and then recently
But you were
I read them all, I went back.
Right.
And they were terrible.
But you were also a performer on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I was a feature performer.
Right. And so when they would put you in sketches, it was kind of, you didn't really get to shine. You didn't get to do that much, right?
That's true. But, I mean, I have to say, I look back and I didn't even know who I was comedically then. I can't believe I got on the show. And I'm not saying they did everything right by me, but I can't really say that I deserved more.
I have said this to Gilbert Gottfried. He drives me crazy. Gilbert is really talented. Gilbert does great impressions. And yet he sat at Saturday Night Live for a year. He had the job. And he would just sit there. He wouldn't push himself. He wouldn't even do his impressions for the writers. Whenever they liked something, he'd say, no, I'm saving that for my stand-up act. He did nothing to propel himself into the spotlight. And I feel with you, do you ever lay in bed and go, you know what? I should have done this. I should have done that. Don't you have regrets about your years on Saturday Night Live?
No, I was there one season, and I was just there so young. I feel like if I was there when I was closer to 30 or something,
you would have known yourself better.
Yeah, and it would have been a whole different thing. But I was there so early, I was afraid. I felt
How old were you at that point?
I think I was 21.
Wow, what a break.
Yeah, I mean, look at me. When they show the clips, I have one eyebrow. I know. And I talk like this, like I had some sort of affectation. I'm like,
well, I did that too early on in my career. I had a weird way of speaking. I didn't even know how to use the microphone. I understand that. So you were thrown into it way too young. How did you get that job?
They came to see me do stand-up, and then I met with Jim Downey, the head writer, and Lorne Michaels.
At 20 years old, you were that good that they saw your stand-up. You were already good enough that they said, wow, she's blowing us away. We're going to hire her as a writer. I
was a really good stand-up, but I think that there's also something to, they were looking for girls.
Right.
Sarah Silverman.
It definitely was, I would say, a boys' club when I was there. But at the same time, I can't really complain about it. I mean, first of all, I can't say, what's it like to be a woman at SNL or what's it like to be a woman in comedy, because I've only ever been a woman. So, I don't know what to compare it to. I'm sure there were struggles being a man there, too. But it was a boys' club, definitely for sure. But I know, Julia Sweeney, I remember her once saying to me, if people could see the work I do in dress rehearsal before it gets cut, I'd be famous. And she was right. I mean, she was not a cocky person. But she was pretty brilliant, and I don't know that she totally got to shine there, but it was a special time. It was a boys' club or not. I mean, it's kind of is almost moot now because, it's like Tina Fey became the head writer there and, the biggest star to come out of there in a while,